Item 7, consider approving by resolution a request from the Ramirez Common School District for financial assistance from the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund for planning, design, and construction of a new water system. We have Dr. Angela Gonzalez, superintendent from the school district here that would like to speak to the board at the appropriate time, and Mireya Lowy from staff is here to present.
Good morning. Chairman Lake, Director Jackson, Director Pop. For the record, my name is Mireya Lowy of the Executive Administrator staff. The Ramirez Common School District is a one-school rural public school district in the ranchland of Duval County. The school normally serves between 30 and 40 students from pre-kinder through 6th grade and has a staff of 11 people. For many years, the district had been operating and utilizing water from a well located within the property of the neighboring local church. In 2016, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality determined that the school's population could not be considered transient, and therefore the school was to be considered a public water system. As such, the existing water well now falls under TCEQ regulations for public water systems. The well tested positive for E. coli and as well as arsenic levels above the allowed maximum contaminant levels. The school has addressed the bacterial contamination with a disinfection system on the existing well, but the well is old and there is not sufficient information available about its construction for TCEQ to evaluate and issue a permit for its use as a public water system. Thus, the school can now only use the well water for non-drinking purposes, such as for cleaning restrooms, and must purchase bottled water for drinking and cooking from a vendor about 20 miles away. This is a logistic and financial burden on the small school that can't be sustained on the long term. With this funding, the district will construct a new well system within school property that will include filtration and disinfection systems, a groundwater storage tank, booster pumps, backup generator, and a new distribution line to the school. This new water system will provide the school with the necessary potable water. The Executive Administrator recommends approval of this request. This concludes my presentation. May I answer any questions?
Questions, comments? Dr. Jackson.
Well, I think as you stated, it does qualify because it is a public water system. And I think I asked where was the school district located, and the answer came back kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. So obviously they needed to have kind of a standalone system and couldn't really have the option of being able to tie into something else. The other, I think, concern with this project is, not only do they need the new well, so they have the available water supply, but water quality is an issue. And I think staff has looked at this, and I saw Juan behind us out in the hall, and I think he's the engineer. We've worked with him on some other projects with the board, and so I guess part of what was considered was, kind of looking at the water quality of what they're using in their existing well and also some data. They felt like that the system that they were proposing, the selective filtration absorption method would be something that would work, as well as it was reasonable to think that it could be done within the budget of the project. So I think those are very important considerations, not only to make sure that they get water supply, but they get quality water, and because this is all loan forgiveness, want to make sure that they have everything they need to move forward and do the project in whole. And of course, I think what you shared with me is that there also will be a period of testing with the water to determine exactly what the filter media needs to be, and that TCEQ will kind of oversee that and also issue the final permit. So this is very much, I think, an amazing project. I think it's something that's very, very needed, and something that will help students. It's a one school district, and so a public school district out, like you said, in the middle of nowhere. So very, very good to be able to help them, and thank you for all your work on this.
Dr. Bob.
Talk about pulling on your emotional heartstrings with this project. I know that sometimes small projects take as much staff time as larger projects, so I thank you so much for all your dedication to this one, because this is this is a good one. This is an important project. These boys and girls and their faculty will have a clean water supply, and that is something that I think a lot of people take for granted, and it'll be just so important to this community. So thank you. And this makes me really proud to be a board member when we can
Yes.
get to do things like this.
Indeed.
Very well
I believe we have someone.
Yes, we have Dr. Gonzalez, the superintendent from Ramirez Common School District, who would like to speak to the board.
Thank you, Maria.
Good morning, board members. I want to take 1 minute to thank the board members and all the Texas Water Development Board team. With your support, kindness, and dedication and compassion, you made possible this beautiful project. Ramirez CSD is a very small rural district, yes, in the middle of nowhere, literally.
That's a technical term.
Yes, you need 2 horses and 1 donkey to get there. Yes. So Ramirez CSD is a very small rural school district, and access to clean water has been a daily concern for our students for many years. In behalf of my students, families, and board members, thank you for this meaningful contribution. From all my heart, thank you so much.
Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you for coming.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you, Maria, as Director Pop said. Thank you and your team for carrying the load on this and getting such a great project over the finish line. Is there a motion?
Chairman, I move we adopt the proposed resolution providing the Ramirez Common School District with financial assistance from the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund for planning, design, and construction of a new water system as recommended by our Executive Administrator.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Next item, please.